Welcome to the show. You are watching the Fox Business Network. We start with Gold Star wife Jane Horton, a former senior Defense Department official. Jane lost her husband, Christopher, to fighting in Afghanistan in 2011. And Texas Congressman, he is a Navy veteran. He's Dr. Ronny Jackson from House Armed Services and Foreign Affairs. Congressman, we've got to start with you. We've got to get to this story. The NSA, Jane, we're going to talk to you in just a second. NSA Jake Sullivan blasted for dubious comments today, claiming the Biden administration had planned for all contingencies. The president yesterday admitted they weren't ready. And both Jen Psaki and NSA Sullivan saying basically that they don't have any idea of how many Americans they need to evacuate. Your reaction to that?
Well, the whole thing's embarrassing. It's shameful. And obviously, they didn't prepare for all contingencies. I heard them say that as well yesterday. I heard the president say that as well. If that's the case, then was this one of the contingencies they prepared for? Did they plan to have a C-17 taxiing down the runway and taking off with hundreds of people hanging onto the aircraft? This is absolutely embarrassing. They've created the absolute worst outcome here because of their lack of a contingency. They obviously did not plan for this. They've put thousands of lives in danger, including thousands of American citizens that are trapped outside the perimeter that's controlled by the Taliban. And I have no confidence whatsoever the Taliban is going to expedite or allow these people to cross through the perimeter and get to the airfield so they can be evacuated.
Yes,
so I think we're in trouble.
You know, the president is returning to the White House tonight at 8:40 p.m. from Camp David. You know, Jane, thanks for joining us. We're so sorry about your loss. You've endured a terrible tragedy like so many Gold Star families. National security experts say it didn't have to be this way. It wasn't inevitable. This could have been Biden's Dunkirk moment, rescuing our partners in Afghanistan. Now overwhelming scenes of bedlam. The Taliban today shooting at people at Kabul airport. It's being called Biden's Bay of Pigs moment, his Saigon moment, his Carter Iran moment. What do you think?
You know, this is completely horrifying for me as a Gold Star wife and as an American citizen. My heart goes out to all the people on the ground, to our troops on the ground that are on their, how many number deployment. You have some people on the ground that are in deployment number 10, some on number 19. We as a country, this is what happens when we are a broken nation, when we don't pay attention to the policies that our government makes, when we don't pay attention to the all-volunteer troops on the ground that have volunteered to fight, bleed, and die for us. And we owe them better. We owe them better policies. And instead of blaming each other right now, we need to come together as a country and see how we can move forward and what we could do to fix this situation.
Yeah, that's a good point. Congressman, what Jane just said, the mistakes have been made. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said we would never have begun to withdraw our military first, with so many American civilians still left behind, up to 40,000, the estimates show. Polls are going against the president right now. What is your take on the president and the administration moving to do this before the 20th anniversary of 9/11? That seems fatally naive. What do you think of that?
Well, absolutely. And what kind of image is this going to create? On the 20th anniversary of 9/11, what are we going to see? We're going to see the Taliban flag flying over the embassy in Kabul. That sends a horrible, horrible message to our allies and to our adversaries. And it really diminishes our capability to be a leader among the communities out there in the world community. And so it's done great damage to our reputation. Our allies won't trust us in the future. Our enemies are going to be emboldened, and they're going to test us. And I think that we have many more bad days to come as a direct result of some of the decisions that were made here and the debacle that we're seeing play out on TV today.